Sunday Live with Jeff Koinange and Olive Barrows.
And it is Sunday, the 18th of January, 2026. Welcome to Sunday Live.
No, it's a full house tonight.
No, it is. We've even got Emmanuel Ndingu
right here
in the house.
Yes, we do.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you. It's good to see you this year as well.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have a great show for you guys tonight, right?
Observer statements on the election in Uganda. Also, Emmanuel, I was telling Jeff, we're bantering about I Show Speed last week and how Ethiopians appeared to show us dust.
No, I refuse.
You refuse, yeah?
I refuse.
Well, yeah, you know, okay, it was a really good stream, really popular stream for them. So, yeah, it was good actually to see the love you've got all around Africa. So that's great. But of course, we'll be going into some sports later on tonight.
Absolutely.
A big night tonight?
Big night.
Big night.
Africa
AFCON finals.
Nations finals.
That's right.
Right? Senegal versus
the hosts.
Morocco.
The hosts.
Absolutely.
Who are you in for?
I'm going Morocco. I think it'll be an upset if Senegal manage to overcome
Senegal?
their deficit.
Just because he said Morocco. I mean, we can't all be on this.
Well, Morocco have home advantage.
It's
a big advantage for them.
All right, folks, start tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Barrows, at Citizen TV Kenya.
The hashtag.
And at Emmanuel Ndi. That was
hashtag Sunday Live. Sunday Live begins right now.
Tonight. Door-to-door operation. Government launches mop-up exercise to move grade 10 learners from home to schools.
Because if all our members stand up, there will be no opposition in Uganda, I can assure you.
40 years and a new term. President Ruto congratulates President Museveni as observer groups fault internet cuts and media bias.
Wanaongea sana na tukiuliza maswali wanasema tutoke kwenye chama. Tukitoka watabaki na nani kwenye chama?
Eruption in the party. Raila's daughter Winnie and son Junior in fiery public rallies as divisions in ODM play out in Nairobi and Kakamega.
I am telling them they better look for another place where they can do quack business. In the healthcare system, it's going to work.
Crackdown on quack doctors. A special police unit deployed to crack down on quack medics as police raid illegal clinic linked to botched tooth extraction in Kawangware.
And welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yulan Zale. Welcome back, Yula. Now, the battle for control of the late Raila Odinga's ODM party took a dramatic turn today as the late Odinga's daughter Winnie Odinga and son Raila Jr. stormed into the ongoing row, with Winnie scoffing at those she said were aiming to force others out of the party.
In remarks made during public appearances in Nairobi's Kibra, Winnie and Junior took aim at a section of leaders in ODM that they claimed targeted younger leaders in the party, making reference to Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and Makasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino. Satolale reports.
In her first public appearance in Kibra constituency since the death of her late father Raila Odinga, the Iyala legislator stormed the Kamkunji grounds, guns blazing.
Vitisho vya peni mbili vitanifanya mimi nini? Amnitishi, amnibabaishi. Nasikia kuna watu wengine walisema hatuwezi kuja hapa. Ni akina nani?
Accompanied by her elder brother Junior Odinga, Winnie declared that she is in ODM to stay.
Hakuna siku baba aliwahi eleza anybody atoke kwenye hii chama. Wanaongea sana na tukiuliza maswali wanasema tutoke kwenye chama. Tukitoka watabaki na nani kwenye hii chama?
Tusikubali kwa watu wakukuza wengine.
The Iyala MP telling a charged crowd that she is on a mission to liberate the party from persons who she dismissed as opportunists.
Hauwezi copy-paste Baba. Huwezi copy-paste the greatest leader Kenya has ever seen. Ati unabadilisha na huyu, ati sasa tuko na Baba. No, haiwezi kuwa hivyo. So sisi kama watu wa ODM, lazima tuongee na watu wetu. Lazima tuongee na mavijana, tuongee na wamama, pia wazee tutaongea nao.
Winnie Odinga telling ODM supporters that she is taking a battle to ODM's National Delegates Conference.
Na wale wanasema ati sijui Baba aliwaambia sijui nini ati. Hiyo ni kukosa adabu. Nyamazeni bwana. Hiyo ni kukosa adabu. Tulieni bana. Everything Baba alikuwa anasema mbele ya watu wake.
The Iyala legislator hinting that she supports the faction in the party associated with Secretary General Sifuna and Embakasi East MP Babu Owino.
Leo naleta the greetings kutoka mandugu zangu Babu Owino na katibu mkuu wa chama Edwin Sifuna. Uko pamoja, msijali.
Earlier on, Winnie and Junior Odinga attended a Thanksgiving service at the ACK Holy Trinity Church.
Iyala MP says she's taking her consultative meetings to other parts of Nairobi County before embarking on a nationwide sensitization campaign. Seth Olane, Citizen TV, Kamukunji, Kibra constituency.
Did you see the guy standing behind Seth Olane doing his piece to camera?
Absolutely. Now, the rift within the Orange Democratic Movement Party continues to widen as new factions continue to emerge.
That's right. ODM party leader, that is Dr. Oburu Oginga, was forced to make appearances in two parallel rallies in Kakamega County as two factions, one led by the Kakamega Governor Fernandez Barasa and the other by Wycliffe Oparanya, held separate meetings.
That's right. ODM Deputy Party Leader Simba Arati accused cooperatist CS Wycliffe Oparanya of fueling the divisions in the party. Let's get more from our very own Stephen Leto.
ODM party leader Dr. Oburu Oginga, accompanied by one of his deputies, Kisii Governor Simba Arati, party national chairperson Gladys Wanga, and several other governors were ushered to Kakamega with two parallel ODM meetings. First meeting was in Mabole Butere constituency. Second meeting was in Kakamega town, each group saying they are ODM delegates but from different camps.
Niliitwa huko Butere, na nilipoitwa huko mimi nilienda huko kukula kidogo lunch as breakfast.
Attempts by the ODM party leader to broker truce failed as Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya had been invited to attend the Kakamega town meeting was a no-show as it took off after the first meeting in Butere.
Na mimi nilikuwa na waziri Oparanya, nilimleta hapa akuje aseme ya kwamba sisi tunataka Kakamega moja.
Na palipo wazee hapaharibiki nini? Jambo.
Supremacy of who is the Kakamega County chairperson coming into sharp focus.
Kakamega is the indivisible capital of Western region. Lazima sisi tuungane. Na mimi nataka kuhakikishia bwana party leader kwamba hapa Kakamega watu wa kulinda ground ni hawa delegates.
Huyu ndio gavana, ndio mwenyekiti wa chama hapa.
So we are here to make sure you people understand where the party is coming from and where we are going.
ODM Deputy Party Leader Simba Arati called out CS Wycliffe Oparanya, accusing him of fueling divisions in the ODM party instead of pushing for unity to secure his boss a second term.
Na wewe mheshimiwa Oparanya, nataka nikuulize ndugu yangu, wewe ni waziri. Na Na nataka nimuulize Mheshimiwa William Ruto, huyu waziri wako kama anataka ukuwe na tamu mbili, ni akuje waongee na baraza.
The ODM party leader told the party delegates that they will be heading to talks that will be centered on power sharing.
Tunataka kuwakilishwa kwa serikali vilivyo huko mbele. Tunataka kushare power. Lazima tushare power.
Na ile negotiation ikifanywa haitakuwa negotiation ya viti peke yake. Lazima itakuwa negotiation ya values za chama chetu kama ODM.
Buru allies in ODM questioned why a faction of the party leadership led by Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna have been pulling in a different direction. ODM delegates in Kakamega pushing for zoning of electoral seats in ODM strongholds as one of the irreducible minimums in the ODM UDA talks.
Wewe ni nani unataka kupinga kamati kuu ya chama? Wewe ni nani?
Ati NDC lazima itwe namna gani? Wewe NDC liitwa wapi ndio ukaekwa kwa hiyo ofisi? Usikubali ati tena tunakuja tunaambiwa sisi ndani ya ODM tuna support President Ruto na pena UDA ina field candidate hapa Kakamega. Hapana. Tunataka zoning ambayo Kakamega ibaki
ODM meeting in Kakamega also reaffirmed its commitment to have victims of political protest be compensated within the shortest time possible. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
At the same time, Kenya Kwanza leaders have sustained attacks on former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accusing the former DP of fueling division in the country.
Speaking in Meru County, members of parliament and cabinet secretaries slammed Gachagua over his constant criticism of government.
And as our very own Marianne Nyambura now tells us, 2027 politics also took center stage in Kirinyaga during a Thanksgiving service hosted by Secretary to the Cabinet, Mercy Wanjao. Take a listen.
Cabinet Secretaries Geoffrey Ruku and Eric Muga were among Kenya Kwanza leaders attending a service at New Life Church in Igembe South, Meru County. Here, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua came under sharp criticism for his sustained attacks on government.
Kuna watu wanakuja kuwadanganya huku ati museme one term. Now watu, they have organized a threat against government, against anybody who is supporting president. Juu ya tumbo yao wao wenyewe. Rigathi Gachagua is a master of organizing hatred against people, against members of parliament.
The leaders castigated Gachagua, stating that many of his allies are now abandoning him.
Leo naona DCP imeenda na wenyewe, kumbe ilikuwa ya Wambaluya. Hao watu walikuwa wamekopa chama wenyewe, wameshindwa kulipa kimeenda. Sasa
leaders pledged to rally behind President William Ruto in next year's election.
2027 ikifika, nikirudi nimwambia ni ngapi? Wacha nione, nimwambia ni ngapi? Nimwambia ni ngapi?
Mount Kenya politics also took center stage during the Thanksgiving service for Secretary to the Cabinet, Mercy Wanjao, at Kianwe Primary School in Kirinyaga County.
It's not about climbing on a plane to go to Singapore. The journey to Singapore is about restoring dignity, better health, better education, better opportunities, employment and opportunities for our youth.
Land CS Alice Wahome criticized Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro, accusing him of undermining government plans.
Kuna watu wengine kama my brother Ndindi Nyoro wanasema it is wrong to securitize. Wakati serikali tumechukua hakukuwa na pesa, na sisi wote wengine tuko kwa fuliza, wengine tuko kwa mswari. Pesa ambaye the government is securitizing ni pesa ya wananchi.
Marianne Nyambura, Citizen TV.
All right, news from further afield here. And Uganda's President-elect Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has defended his victory, warning the opposition against causing chaos.
In his address to the nation a day after being declared winner of the recent general election, Museveni said the opposition, led by Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine, was planning chaos, but that the security agencies were on standby to maintain peace.
That's right. He also said the opposition was quote-unquote lucky, claiming that about 10 million NRM supporters did not turn out to vote.
He spoke as AU and EAC observer groups gave the election a clean bill of health, and as leaders, including President William Ruto, congratulated him. Emily Chebet reports.
A day after Uganda's incumbent President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was declared winner of the presidential election, extending his 4-decade rule, he has issued a stern warning to opposition supporters after police said polling stations were attacked. At a time when the main opposition leader in Uganda, Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine, has disputed the election and called on Ugandans to reject the results, claiming widespread rigging, Museveni has warned Ugandans against holding any protests.
The other year, when there were riots in Kenya, the same riots were supposed to happen here. But the people they wanted to use came and told me, and we refused the. So therefore, I am advising this small group of traitors, but they are working with foreigners, some homosexual groups, some this and that. This is free advice from me, that please stop what you are doing, because we know everything, and you will not do it, either peacefully or unpeacefully.
Addressing members of his party who were elected in different political seats, Museveni dismissed claims of electoral malpractice while accusing the opposition leaders of attempting to disrupt the electoral process.
The plan everywhere was that where NUP is defeated, gangs with the pangas should attack the polling station. They came with the pangas to attack the polling station, and they were shot. 7 of them were shot dead there with the pangas.
The president-elect has defended his 72% victory, saying the margin could have been even wider.
When we reviewed the membership on the 6th of May, you remember we had 21 million members, and 18 million of them are voters. But we are now talking of 8 million who turned up. So the opposition, and many of them who did not turn up, are our members. So the opposition are lucky, because if all our members turn up, there will be no opposition in Uganda, I can assure you.
Reports by AU and East Africa community observers in Uganda pointed out the late opening of the polling stations on the voting day and widespread malfunction of biometric voter verification kits. The two reports, however, stated that the voting and counting process went on uninterrupted and could not point out any malpractice. At the same time, President William Ruto has congratulated Museveni on his victory, saying it reflected the trust that the people of the Republic of Uganda have in his leadership and the confidence enjoyed by the NRM party. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, back home again, and the government has embarked on an intensive mop-up exercise to ensure that all learners who completed grade 9 transition to senior secondary school.
A move that comes as thousands of learners who recorded stellar performance in the 2025 KJSEA remain stranded at home due to lack of school fees and other school requirements.
A reality that experts say exposes the widening gap of inequality in access to education, where affluent learners access better opportunities than their peers from poor backgrounds. We get more from our very own Serafin Achieng Omar.
About a week since grade 10 learners began reporting to various schools across the country, in Magenche village, Bomachoge, Borabu constituency of Kisii County, Grace Sombui is still at home. Despite scoring 65 points in her KJSEA assessment, her family is unable to fund her transition to senior secondary school.
I was placed at Moi Girls, Nairobi, but due to lack of resources, my parents are unable to take me there.
Hata huko penye alikuwa anasoma, hatukukuwa na uwezo wenye tulikuwa nayo ni ni kuchukua mbao kidogo kidogo, angalau walimu wakamwachilia akasoma huko.
After completing her studies at Kemasare DOK Primary in Nyamira South, Sharon Mora hoped that with 64 points, she could secure her slot at Asumbi Girls High School to pursue the STEM pathway, but her joy was short-lived when her parents were forced to seek an alternative day school in the neighborhood, which does not offer STEM, and she fears that her dream of becoming a doctor may be shattered.
Kwa daktari sababu nimeona venye babangu amekuwa mgonjwa. Na sisi hatuna pesa ya kumpeleka hosi kumfanyia matibabu. Sometimes pesa inakosa ya kununulia dawa. Nataka nikiwa daktari nisaidie watu wa huku ndo niwe shujaa wa huku.
Mora's mother is frustrated watching her children's ambitions being threatened as the family remains trapped in the unforgiving claws of poverty.
Watoto wangu huwa wako perfect, wanafanya vizuri. Kwa shule huwa wanapita vizuri. Hivi karibuni kuna kijana wangu alipita akaitwa Nyambaria, lakini nikashindwa kumchukua akaenda shule nyingine day school. Huyu pia yeye amepita, sasa nimeshindwa nifanye nini?
Due to the large number of learners still at home, the government announced key measures to be taken, including door-to-door tracing and household mapping to identify learners who have not reported, as well as provision of bursaries and scholarships for vulnerable learners, coordinated through county governments and NGCDF in order to minimize the financial exclusion.
Silence, please.
While the competency-based education focused on holistic development and equipping learners with skills that will give them an equal fighting chance, education experts warn that the cost of its implementation makes it a pipe dream.
The minimum requirement that a learner in a boarding school needs is 50,000. I'm just wondering how many of the parents can afford. No wonder you're seeing we are still having almost 700,000 of these students out there.
Waruku says that lack of proper planning has also left learners from poor families at the mercy of a limping education system that unfairly seals their fate in terms of future career choices.
Whoever was doling out the CBC probably was making the private sector in education to thrive more than the public sector. There you charge as much as, because the regulation is fairly open, they charge as much as what they need. And they get it because the parents who go there are middle-class parents. And they say they want it for their children. So they were more prepared. Even the teachers, as we are speaking, when we are asking about some of the critical learning areas which make CBC to be more appealing, those private schools already have.
According to the Ministry of Interior, 61% of learners have joined senior secondary school, with the government extending the registration period to Wednesday next week to achieve 100% transition.
If you are extending a journey, and you don't know that my leg is broken wherever I am, how will I take the journey? I'm unable to walk. Even if you extend it by 100 years, I'm still unable to walk.
Safin Achieng Oma, Citizen TV.
Heart-wrenching story there. Now, at the same time, the Health Ministry has launched a nationwide crackdown on fake clinics and medics to the country of what they call country of quacks.
Health Cabinet Secretary Aidan Duale says a special police unit will be deployed alongside the Kenya Medical Practitioners Council to enforce standards.
Yes, right now the move comes even as police raided the illegal dental clinic in Kawangware, linked to the botched dental extraction. Let's get more from our very own O.D. Francis.
It has been nearly 2 weeks since Amos Isoka walked into this unregistered clinic in Kawangware, a visit that would ultimately cost his life. He died days later at Kenyatta National Hospital following the botched dental extraction. Even as quack dentists remain at large, Health Cabinet Secretary Adan Duale announced a major crackdown to weed health sector of quacks.
If you are a quack doctor or a healthcare practitioner who is not licensed, who has not gone to school, like the one that we found who mishandled our patient, I am telling them they better look for another place where they can do quack business. In the healthcare system, it's going to work.
A new regulatory framework known as the scope of practice is set to be instituted to ensure medical procedures are undertaken by only those trained to do so.
But now as a ministry, we introduced something called the scope of practice. The moment I launch the scope of practice, then every health practitioner in our country can only treat a patient based on what he has learned in college and his scope of practice.
In the meantime, DCI detectives returned to the illegal clinic in Kawangware, searching for evidence that would aid their investigations. Among the items seized by police include laboratory equipment, assorted drugs, and an identification card bearing the name Lawrence Kingatwa Kamau.
And now Mudangari police station are looking for both the owner of the building, the owner of the facility, and the quack dentist. We will crack the whip. We are planning to form anti-fraud police unit to deal with even fraud in SHA.
The CS pledged that the government will cover all medical expenses for the late Isoka's family.
And tomorrow morning I'm going to direct KNH to waive all the bills of our late brother who was mishandled by a quack. That I will do it. We have a fund within KNH that we cater for. Even during riots, the people, Kenyans who get injured, when they go to KNH, there's a way we waiver. So we will waiver the KNH.
Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, on that note, we're going to take our first break here on Sunday Live and remind you we have plenty more ahead, including
families calling on the government to assist them trace their kin.
That's right.
Who are apparently fighting in Russia. Yeah.
And plenty more, including sports with our very own Emmanuel Ndungu.
But that report by Francis O'Day on the tooth extraction, I mean, we saw him. It was covered by O'Day. He was interviewed, he was speaking, he was transferred.
Next thing.
And the next, very sad.
Very sad. Keep tweeting at Koinanka Jeff.
At O Barrows, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Emmanuel ND.
All right. Hashtag is Sunday Live. Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back in the meantime. Coming up. It is exactly 32 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Sunday Live here at Citizen Television. Now, the list of Kenyans appealing to the government to help them trace the whereabouts of their loved ones allegedly recruited by unlicensed agencies and flown out of the country to serve as soldiers in Russia continues to grow by the day.
The latest involves a family from Kasipul in Homa Bay County who say their son, Duncan Otieno, who left Kenya after being promised a job in Turkey, only to end up in Russia as a combatant. The Kamba was coming out.
Yeah, Sawa. Combatant. Sawa.
Has vanished.
Crispin Otieno spent the day in Kasipul with the family and brings us this report.
Days after families from Mombasa and Busia came forward seeking answers about how their loved ones ended up in Russia, some reported dead.
The person you've called is not reachable.
Others missing. Another family in Oyugis is now living in pain and uncertainty. Well, for the past 3 months, quite a number of families have been reaching out in search of their kins across the country who were recruited by unknown agents to Russia. And that's the reason why we are in Nyandiwa village in Kasipul constituency to speak to the family of Duncan Otieno, an ex-soldier who went to Russia, but 8 months down the line, they're yet to know his whereabouts. This is the homestead of Mzee Harrison Juma Okeyo, a retired army officer. As we arrived, silence filled the homestead. The family sat huddled together, clashing photographs of their lost son and brother, the only reminder of a life that left home with hope, never to return. In April last year, Duncan left this very homestead headed for Nairobi after being promised employment in Istanbul, Turkey. What the family did not know is that this journey would turn into a nightmare. After receiving a flight ticket, Duncan and others were flown to Istanbul before being transported to Russia and forced into military combat.
Sasa naomba serikali anisaidie kutafuta bwanangu ili nimpate. Hata kama amekufa, waniambie tu nimzike. Siwezi kaa hivi bila kujua mali yako. Maisha ni ngumu sana bila Dan. Serikali tu nisaidie kwenye nitampata. Hiyo tu ndio maombi yangu.
She says a man identified only as Festus was mentioned as the main recruiter who coordinated the movement of the youth from Kenya to Russia.
Niliuliza Festus kama ameona Dan. Jibu yenye alinijibu ati hajawahi wasikia tangu waende. Hajawahi wasikia.
Namna kujua pale hako ni ngumu. So namna kuinvestigate kitu ambaye naweza kufanya nimeshindwa unless serikali aingie ajue pale anaweza kupatikana alafu aeleze what's happening at home.
These images sent from Russia show Duncan dressed in military gear. They are now the only visual memory his family holds onto. Adding to the pain, Duncan never got the chance to be informed of his mother's death. She was laid to rest as the family hoped, prayed, and waited for a call that never came.
Russia, tujui vile alienda Russia because hata hakupatia embassy ya Russia. So kile kitu tunaomba tu tujue mali ndugu yangu wako, kama serikali inaweza saidia atusaidie tujue ule ndugu yangu mali yako.
The big question remains, who is behind this network allegedly recruiting Kenyans illegally and sending them to fight in a foreign war, and how many more families are suffering in silence? Crispin Otieno, Citizen TV.
Another sad story to report here, and 2 teenagers have died after drowning in a dam in Gatara River in Kabete in Kiambu County.
According to reports, the boys aged 13 and 14 were swimming in a pond after a church service. Ben Kirui reports.
The 2 boys were reportedly on their way home after attending catechism classes at Kingero Catholic Church when they stopped to swim at this dam formed by a waterfall along the Gatara River in Rukubi village. A third boy, who had remained behind to watch over their clothes, raised the alarm after noticing that his companions had disappeared beneath the water.
Saa ile aliona hawakuweza kutoka, akaenda nyumbani akasema wamedrown huko, na ndio hatua ikashukuliwa tukaenda huko na tukawatoa usiku.
Tulikuwa vijana wengi sana. Tulingangana, watu walikuwa wamejaa hapa sana wengi. Tulingangana na tukawapata.
Local residents have described the area as hazardous, noting that its scenic appeal attracts many visitors despite the hidden dangers. They are now urging authorities to fence off the area and implement safety measures to avert similar tragedies in the future.
Hapa ni mara mingi sana ajali imepatikana. Wageni ndio huwa wanakuja, manake hawajui, wao ndio wakiingia ndio hawajui mambo ya hapa
pahali ijulikane vile inaweza tengenezwa watu wasikufia hapa tena.
Wengi tumetoa hapo, wanaendaga kuswim, na ukiangalia katika huko ndani kuna mizizi ambayo huwa inashika watu hapo ndani. So ukienda hapo it's very deep. So tunataka kuangalia vile tunaweza saidia tusipate maafa ingine.
The bodies of the 2 boys were later retrieved by volunteer divers and taken to St. Teresa Mortuary in Kikuyu. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, on that note, we're going to take another break here on Sunday Live. Let you know there's plenty more ahead, including sports.
Emmanuel Dongo.
There you go. Keep tweeting at Kwanza Jeff.
At O Burrows, at Emmanuel ND.
That's Citizen TV, the hashtag. Sunday Live. Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment. In the meantime, coming up.
Coming up, residents of Lolgorian in Transmara South protest eviction from gold mine by hired goons.
It is exactly 44 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Sunday Live here at Citizen Television. Now, residents of Lolgorian in Transmara South in Narok County have staged demonstrations to protest alleged harassment by hired goons to push them out of Moyoi gold mine.
The angry residents claim that government officials are using goons to drive them out of the mines and pave way for a private investor. Crispin Otieno has those details.
After years of alleged harassment by suspected government officers attached to the Ministry of Mining from Nairobi, residents of Moyoi community in Lolgorian, Transmara South, could not take it anymore. The locals took to the streets to protest closure of the mines. The residents claim the Ministry of Mining officials have been harassing them and pushing them out of the mines.
Na alifunga leo ni mara ya tatu amekuja kufunga. Na amekuja kusulumu sisi na wanakuja usiku kama waisi wanakuja pika watoto wetu, na hii kampuni hawana shida na sisi, wanapatia sisi msaada. Wamejengia sisi shule na serikali anakuja kudhulumu watoto wetu. Watoto wetu kama watoto 150 wanafanya kazi za hiyo, hakuna kazi anafanya.
So tunataka kueleza serikali waangalie, kuna kikosi ambayo wanakuja usiku, wanakuja hata wapitii watu wengine wa serikali hapa. Hatuna shida na DC, hatuna shida na OSPD, hatuna shida na ofisi zingine sawa. Wanakuja tu dere kutoka Nairobi, wanakuja mpaka hapa, wanafunja mamlango, wanapiga watu, wanafunga, wanadeport hata watu bila hata hatujui ni makosa gani.
With the site once again out of bounds, all machines switched off, these youth are uncertain of their future.
Tunasema leo, kuanzia leo, kama serikali ya William Ruto ndio itakuwa hivyo mbaya, tunasema sisi tuko ready kuongoja 2027. Kama serikali iwezi rekebisha ofisi yake ya CS wa mining, tuko tayari kuongoja 2027.
Nini mbaya ambayo watu kutoka Nairobi anakuja na magari 7, hawezi husisha security ambayo tuko naye hapa Lolgoria. Anakuja wenyewe na wakora ambayo hatujajua. Na tena hata kuna huyo mchina anaitwa Lee kasi yako na kampuni. Anafanya kampuni na hana license, hata hizo mashamba hana consent, ambayo maana hakuna hiyo mashamba hana title deed.
Lolgorian in Transmara South is one of the areas in the country with massive gold deposits and have for years been the center of dispute between the locals and interested investor eyeing the precious deposits. Crispino, TNO Citizen TV, Transmara.
All right. On that note, we can take
On
a
that
break.
note,
Before
yeah,
we do
take a
that,
break.
guess who's in the house?
Emmanuel Doyle.
Yes.
Man, what you got today? What you got?
We got a lot. We got obviously some Kenya Premier League and some local action to get into, but the big game tonight is Senegal versus Morocco. It starts at 10 p.m. So we'll be out of here ASAP. What's the time now?
It's 48.
We'll make it.
We'll make it. Sub 10. So it should be good. So Morocco are looking to end their 50-year wait for another AFCON title, and Senegal want to upset the home heroes. So let's see. We have this after the break as well. Welcome back to the programme. My name is Emmanuel Ndunga. Let's get into the sports news. Gor Mahia are back at the top of the Kenya Premier League table after a commanding 3-0 win over Mara Sugar at the Nyayo National Stadium. Felix Oluoch opened the scoring in the 15th minute, setting the tone for a dominant Gor Mahia display. Musa Sharif doubled the advantage on the half-hour mark before Samuel Kapen sealed the win with a late third, 5 minutes from full time. Elsewhere, Moranga Seal returns to winning ways with a 2-1 victory over Bidco United, while the Kakamega homeboys continued their fine form with a convincing 2-0 win against Kariobangi Sharks.
Analeta minus Sharif! Mara Sugar alianza Jackson Twang Mula, run nzuri akaleta minus kwa Sharif. Ebeneza Asifwa analeta ndani Kapen. Tatu bila.
Well, deserve the win. I think they were more superior and better than us today. Lazima tuwapatie hiyo pongezi, ndio pia sisi tufungue room ya kuweza kuiona mpira kwa nafasi ya pili. ili tuweze kukua bora mechi ambayo imefuata.
Jackson, Alpha and Pius, they are people who can play, and exactly what we expected is what happened. We control the game. We've given them we have a lot of options, whether to attack from the wider areas, wings, or play in between. And today they have the option to make that decision. They took a very good decision in terms of how we played the first goal from the wider areas and score. So it's been good. We're very, very happy how they processed everything.
Moving on, Kenyan athletes will soon be recognized and used as Kenya's ambassadors when they represent the country at global sports competitions. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says plans are at an advanced stage as Kenya now positions itself as a sports tourism country. Musalia was the chief guest at the Tinderet Bangetuni Mountain Run, an event that is now attracting global attention in sport. Our sports editor Michael Kinyi was at the event and filed the following report.
This is the Bangetuni Lion Farm, an expansive 2,000 acres of great scenery deep in Tinderet, Nandi County. This was the base for the first Magical Kenya Trail series that is focusing on sports, tourism and culture across the country. The sports component in the trail series has mountain hiking, where participants do at least 10 kilometers, cycling, where the lovers of the bike do up to 50 kilometers, and running the half marathon in the steep terrain of the mountains. A new concept is the 4x4 adventure, tried for the first time in Tinderet.
This shows how strong the whole issue of sports is to the Kenyan government. And you'll notice that the president has invested very significantly, the sports fund and so forth.
Musalia says after 5 years of successful mountain running competition, the Tinderet Bangetuni Mountain Run needs to be replicated across various parts of the country.
Some of us are emulating this. Very soon we also want to have the Maragoli Hills Marathon, because we are seeing what is being done in this area, and these are good examples that we can propel to different parts of our country.
With the event being used by Athletics Kenya to select Team Kenya for the World Championships in mountain running, the winners will soon have a new role as Kenya's sports ambassadors. This is a role that will be soon played by all athletes across various sports during international sports championships.
We submitted a sessional paper to Parliament, which was approved. And one of the issues inside there was also sports diplomacy. So we definitely have to go deeper on how to strengthen sports diplomacy. So definitely it's an area that is going to play a very big role in our diplomatic engagement.
Kenya is known for athletics, where athletes have won gold medals and broken records at the Olympic Games and at the World Championships. Focus is now on mountain running, which showcases the beauty of the Kenyan landscape, and Kenyan athletes also have the potential of becoming global stars in the event.
And the concept is the same, resilience, energy, training, discipline. That is why we have ventured into mountain run, and we are already seeing our young men and women performing very well.
This is now being tied to sports tourism, which has been earmarked to attract more tourists, to increase the number in Kenya from the current 3 million to a target of 5.5 million annually.
How I came to know about it was honestly mostly from watching TV and seeing the runners on TV. And I was looking for a trip to do over the, winter back home or summer here. And this seemed like a good one to do because it is nice and hot here.
This is my first time in Kenya and almost my first time in Africa. And so far, I love it.
Sport tourism is a market that is estimated at $400 billion. Where is that money? What is Kenya doing to position, to tap into that pie that is then defining the future of economic empowerment from the sports tourism point of view?
Winners of the mountain run came from different places in Kenya, including West Pokot, Bomet, Trans Nzoia and Narok. This shows the interest in the event that is competing with the E10 International Marathon in Elgeyo Marakwet County and the Eldoret City Marathon in Uasin Gishu County.
The fact that Nandi is source of champions, Uasin Gishu the city of champions, and Elgeyo Marakwet the home of champions, this internal competition is necessary. But at the end of the day, this is a region. These are 3 regions within our country. We are all contributing towards training and identifying talents that will support and proudly represent Kenya out there.
People were able to learn what their country offers. You know, it's like the trail opened the eyes for the people of Kenya in terms of local tourism, and it also opened the eyes of the world, because if you look at this Tinderet Mountain Run, it's being watched globally.
The Ministry of Tourism is now doing a national mapping of tourism products across the 47 counties. Sports and culture is a priority, and the Magical Kenya Trail Series is the vehicle that is being used effectively to assist in the mapping.
The purpose is to be able to use that as an opportunity to showcase what our country has. And we have just started with Nandi, and of course we'll expect to roll it across the country.
We are looking at the sharing of the tourism cake, the journey of the dollar. Does it get down to the common mwananchi? How do you get that money to the people? How do you bring the Singapore to the people?
The Trail Series will traverse different parts of the country throughout the year, but the Bargetunyi Trail Series has set the bar for what to expect.
It has been one of the best mountain run events that have been organized in this part of the world. And what the organizers are saying is that this will be a permanent feature in the Athletics Kenya calendar moving forward. Michael Kinyi for Citizen TV in Nandi County.
Thanks very much for that story. Now, moving on. The Kenya Ports Authority wrapped up their group stage campaign in style, defeating Kenya Airport Police Units 25-21, 23-25, 25-19 and 25-19 again at Nyayo Gymnasium to secure a spot in the round of 16. The victory underlines KPA's credentials as serious title contenders and gives them crucial momentum ahead of the National League season. Despite 2 pool stage losses, Kenya Airport Police Unit also advanced to the knockout stages. Earlier on day 4, the National Youth Service produced a flawless display to overcome Kenya Navy in straight sets of 25-23, 25-22 and 25-19, rounding off an eventful final day of group competition. Let's have a look.
The game was good. Ukiangalia mzuri kabisa on my side, because they are still learners. Most of them are beginners, 17 to 18 years, fresh from school. So where they are, I can see they are going somewhere.
We have a league coming up soon, so it has already boosted the morale of the players. Wako tayari zaidi kupambana kwa ligi, maana ligi ndio muhimu zaidi. Hata kama hii ni Kenya Cup iko muhimu, lakini ligi ndio muhimu zaidi. So, but they are geared up to play the league well.
To finish off now, Nigeria defeated Egypt in a tense penalty shootout to claim 3rd place at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations after a goalless 90 minutes. The Super Eagles showed nerves of steel from the spot and took home the bronze medal. So that is the sports news we have for you. Just 4 minutes into the game here, Senegal versus Morocco is ongoing AFCON, the AFCON final.
Yeah, so, it's happening right now.
Yes, right now. So let's see how that turns out. Yeah. Your prediction was?
Nigeria. That was just.
We were just talking about Nigeria just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Senegal.
Yeah, yes. Sadio Mane.
Oh yes, yeah, he's been magic this tournament. So
but let's Morocco has a 12th man advantage.
Well, the crowd is huge. The Senegal only had 3,000 tickets.
Wow.
In a 70,000 stadium. So look at the sea of red over there.
Yeah.
And I see. But it'll be a great story.
Wait, Morocco the ones in white and then Senegal in the green.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So it's going to be an exciting game.
Okay, Manuel, you can go home now. Okay. Go watch the game.
Well, I will. Thank you very much.
Just got some feedback.
Yes.
What do you have?
Please. This is Frank Orinde, who says, Winnie Odinga's roar is more than noise. It signals a generational pulse within ODM, a reminder that the party's future voice is bold, assertive, and unafraid. For ODM, it means renewal meets legacy, and the conversation on direction can no longer be postponed.
Okay. This is Katiba's K. He says, there should be serious efforts to ensure 100% transition to grade 10. The 60% enrollment by end of the week should wake up the government to make a follow-up so that every learner gets a chance to join school.
You know, I was wondering the mop-up exercise.
Yeah.
If the parents still can't afford to take the children to school, then how that changes things.
Exactly.
All right, this is Engineer Lazaro. The failures of this administration can be measured by the number of Kenyans trooping to unknown destinations in search of greener pasture.
Yeah, absolutely. Engineer, you're so right. Babu Michael KE says, I feel that as a country, we are missing out on priorities. I hear about Singapore dreams, building the largest airport in Africa, etc., etc. But if our children aren't given proper education, who will drive the dreams?
So he wrote that in all caps.
Yeah.
And this is Babu Michael, who says the existence of quack doctors is as a result of a failed system, again in all caps. It's that simple. If bodies like KMPDC in collaboration with the Ministry of Health were keen on their job, such cases could not happen. It is now too little, too late. All right, this is Lois Omosh. Jeff. Welcome back, Jeff. You must have ditched the other glass. The floor is back.
Thank you very much, Alois. Thank you. All right. That was our last tweet of the evening. Thanks so much for being a part of Sunday Live, folks. Remember, if it's Sunday, it's the largest, best show on TV.
That's right.
9 p.m. onwards.
You do not want to miss out. But in case, on account of the game, you missed out on the last part, you can rewatch it on our digital platforms. Jeff, I forgot to say at the start, I like your fit.
Thank you very much.
Looking sharp.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not just the new glasses, but...
Yeah. I can see.
Yeah. Karibu. Welcome back.
And once again, Eula Nzale, our sign language interpreter. Welcome back, Eula. Thanks so much for being a part of Sunday Live, folks. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. What do you say?
We have no choice.
I had a choice for 3 months. Have a great week, everybody.